Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Season 3, Episode 7. Before I start this video, I want to thank those that have subscribed to my channel and thank you to those of you that have been following and supporting me. Now I have one notification before I start. So this week has been crazy in the UK with the weather and everything and work for me personally. So yeah, I've done my good deed of moving trees and any other debris out of the road and helping cut trees down for the family. And yeah, I am considering going tomorrow, fingers crossed, depending on the weather, to Skirmish Wickham Airsoft. If not, I might speak to them and try and rearrange. I haven't made up my mind yet. But other than that, let's get into the video. So this video is going to be different. Why is that? Well, recently I've been watching a few Airsoft cheater videos, whether it's just one video or a compilation. I tend to find that people that get this footage are regular players and it's not just the same person that's being recorded. And then there are others that just put out compilations of cheaters that they've come across and then leave it at that. And when it comes to Airsoft, we're not looking for cheaters, okay? We're playing for a bit of fun. However, on the day you may encounter that particular issue. So this is going to be just a one-off video, but hopefully it will become a series with more experience, time and footage. So we're going to be going over my experiences and taking a trip down memory lane to where I am now. So I started back in 2020 and didn't get a lot of footage due to COVID-19. But in 2021, I got like double the footage. So we're going to be starting off in 2021. Now, I'm going to be your host, Humble Gamble, and you've heard the term name and shame. Well, I'm going to call this series Name, Shame, Game, NSG for short, and basically, like I said, we're going to be going over my experiences. Now, there's two differences between a hit taker and a blatant cheater. A hit taker can range from a beginner, just wearing extra layers, hasn't been shot before, so doesn't know what to that player doesn't know what to expect, my apologies. So again, if it hits the skin, yeah, it does hurt. Obviously, if it hits your layers, you won't feel it as much. And recently, a few rentals that I have encountered have been layered up and haven't been feeling BBs. So I have been courteous, but then shot them a number of times and then gone, come on, that's just silly, call yourself out. And 9 times out of 10, the beginners will be like, okay, yep, sorry, I'm out. And before you know it, you respawn, you die. You respawn, you die, okay? Now, in Airsoft, that's part of the game, or like any PS or Xbox game when you're playing online. Die, respawn, die, respawn. So yes, you may get the advantage back, you may be at a disadvantage. Again, it's all part of the game. So when it comes to experienced players like me, running, gunning, sometimes people may shoot at me and I may not feel it, and I don't wear a lot of layers, particularly unless it's winter. So there have been a few times where I thought, have I been hit or not? And if you're not sure, marshals will always tell you this. Call yourself out, and before you know it, you're back in the game. There have been, or should I say, there has been one case so far at my home site where I was making a run, didn't feel anything, but the marshal was right next to me whilst I was running, and I just saw a BB come off I can't remember if it was my leg or my arm, and I didn't feel it because I was running. And he said, yeah, you've been hit, you're out. I didn't go, what are you talking about? You're crazy, I'm carrying on. No, I wasn't aggressive or anything, I was just like surprised. I just went, oh, okay, out. And then before I knew it, I was back to where I was anyway. So that's the difference between a hit taker, whether you're a beginner or experienced player. Now we come to the major part, the cheaters. Now, cheaters, there's two things I don't like in this world. Well, there's a lot of things in this world that I don't like, but we're keeping this to the Airsoft channel. So, majorly in life, bullies, okay, and cheaters. So if you're caught, you get everything you deserve. I'm just going to say that straight away now, okay? Now, in my experience of playing Airsoft, yes, I've come across a lot of hit takers, whether they were beginners or experienced players, but eventually the marshal just goes to them and say, look, we're getting a few complaints, you're not calling your hit, and most of the time they'll be just like, okay, fair enough, I'll bear that into consideration and play fairly. And that's fine. It's like a slap on the wrist, okay? Nothing personal, just play the game fairly, carry on. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, they just carry on the game and enjoy the rest of the day. However, when it comes to cheaters, it's the same pattern. It comes to hit taking. And you're probably thinking, well, I just mentioned hit taking. Well, it's not just hit taking. Sometimes it could be bending the rules, breaking the rules, repeated violations. I sound like I should be working at a prison, but nevertheless. So when it comes to cheaters, cheaters need to be pulled to the side by the marshals, and they do get spoken to, and the rules again state clearly, if you continue to cheat, we will ask you to sit out, and worse, we'll ask you to leave, and your group, depending on site's rules and everything. And sadly, in my career of Airsoft, not with me, thankfully, I think it was at the end of last year, at a site that I've been to, a group of teens decided to test out one of their home pyros without letting the marshals know. And unfortunately, it resulted in a minor damage. Nothing too expensive, believe me, I'm keeping it very short. And they were asked to leave because of the incident. So again, doing stupid stuff will get you kicked off an Airsoft site, which was a shame because I got on with a few teams. They were they were very friendly and everything, but it just takes 1 or 2 stupid people to go, you know what, we'll do this, and hopefully we'll get away with it. Unfortunately, if you get caught, accept your punishment, all right? Especially if you're guilty. So that's the only time that I've seen a group actually asked to leave. I've seen people asked to sit out. But thankfully, I haven't seen a lot of that. And I think when it comes to YouTube, some people do think, oh, there must be a lot of Airsoft cheaters out there. Honestly, depending on the sites and the players, again, I've been to a toxic site, there will always be a haven for certain cheaters and toxic players, unfortunately. But a majority of the sites actually have good marshals, good players, and like I said before, all it takes is a slap on the wrist to mention to people, and everyone has a good day. But if you cheat, you're going to get caught. And I find that it's quite hard to prove it, like anything with evidence, saying to people, because again, marshals say, please be very descriptive. So they'll say, don't just say that guy in camo, please be descriptive. So for example, that guy's wearing DPM top, he's wearing a grey boonie hat. You're accusing me of cheating? No, I'm just messing with you. But again, something of that description. So I find it's very important, okay, if you do come across a cheater, we all get caught up in the heat of the moment. So again, everyone reacts differently. Try and be professional as you can. Try and be that better person. Doesn't always work, but try, okay? Because then it puts you in the good instead of the bad. So what I found is with a head camera or a scope camera, they come in very handy. And sometimes the marshals ask you, please, can you show me the footage? And, well, show them the footage. There you go. There's your proof. So I play for fun. I don't like to expose people for cheating without sufficient evidence. But as you've probably seen a few of my videos, if you haven't, go check them out. There are some minor cases of people not hit taking, and now we're about to get on to the cheaters. So in 2021, I came across 2 people. The first one, Mr. Lumberjack. Now, Mr. Lumberjack, he was an interesting case. So, what's going to happen is you're going to watch the footage. Again, I edited it, so again, you don't have to see the whole footage of the day. So I'll put a timestamp in, possibly in this corner here, if you want to get straight to where the incident did happen. If not, enjoy the gameplay leading up to it. So, enjoy.
Red, move up! Red, move up!
No kill!
Good.
You weren't firing anything.
Yeah, I was, look, see?
Well, you are now, but you missed the first.
No, I didn't, mate. I got you on camera, mate.
See anything?
No, fuck that.
There's a guy right here.
Stay this way, stay this way.
There's no way.
Dude, seriously! Fucking hell.
About time.
Yeah.
You're the one who said I hit him in the fucking embassy when he
Plus
came
the fact, I hit him in the embassy and he didn't take his fucking calls. That's twice now, I'm going to mention that.
Right, mention it to Mark.
Yeah, I'm going to mention. Right, watch out. Oh shit, yeah.
So you saw from the footage Mr. Lumberjack, okay? Now, I will show you some slow-mo footage soon enough. Now, I will always give a player the benefit of the doubt. I will always give one chance, okay? After that, anything goes, within, obviously, airsoft sites and rules. But no, what happened is, as you can see, I was in John Wick mode, and I was having a great time. That's the best I've probably ever done so far in my career of airsoft. And as you can see, I was going to change the mag, but again, your sensors play an important part. Spider sensors always on. And I heard him. And as you can see in the footage, there were two giveaways to this. Number one, okay, he flinches, and when we naturally get hit, we naturally flinch. And the second thing, dry firing. Funny that, because I believe it was 15 in a row. Funny that, because the 15 before were hit. And now you're telling me it's dry firing? And if it was empty, the, obviously, chamber locks back. So it tells you you're out of BBs. And I shot him. Now, you may think I was in the wrong, I was in the right for doing that. Again, feel free to put your comments down below, but again, keep it civil. Again, you might think I was right, wrong. I shot him in the heat of the moment to prove a point, saying, well, it's not dry fire. Why would you say that? And he was flinching. And I walked away and just simply said what I did in the video. And then we come to, I want to make this clear. That scene that you saw, the John Wick mode activated, that was the second incident. The third incident was with my team player, Tech, as you saw in the last part. Now, I want to say this right now. Tech, I can't remember without looking at the footage, whether he had the AK or the M4, I can't remember without looking. Nevertheless, he has mid-caps. Now, mid-caps contain up to 180, 200 plus BBs. So, my extended mag only holds 40 BBs. Now, bear in mind, Tech spotted him and shot him a number of times before I even started shooting at him and actually emptied my entire clip on him, what remained of it. So, it just goes to show he tried to get the advantage but was caught out from behind. That's what makes it even more interesting. This guy was caught out not just in front but from behind as well, and both of us were like, come on, and we tried to get the marshal's attention, but then because of that we got sidetracked and got killed outright. But again, it's part of the game. But it just goes to show, sometimes when it comes to cheaters, it's not just you that catches them out in the day. It's other people on your team. Now, I find this very important. It doesn't matter if you're on the same team or the enemy team. If you've got a cheater, bring it to the marshals. Okay? There's no point protecting a cheater, because I can tell you right now, in my past with a few players that I've known, they did cheat at one point, and I witnessed it, and so did the other team players. It does start to question your team, especially when you're playing, whether it's a skirmish, a battle sim, or mil sim. So again, just be honest. You'll be back in the game before you know it, okay? So you will not be the only one that catches them out in the day. I spoke to my friend Tech. He encountered him in a different part of the embassy before I shot him. And yeah, if you're a cheater, you get caught out, you get spotted by everyone else, you get told off by the marshals, and I believe at the end of this day, he was asked to sit out, and because of the weather changing, I think he left with his friends, or he was asked to leave. I don't know the full details at the end, but nevertheless, he was sitting out when we were all going back out at one stage. So again, was it worth it? Okay, was it really worth it? So the last part you're going to see actually is the slow-mo, which contained the first and second incident. The third incident I didn't want to put in slow-mo because you can barely see it at the top of the screen. Bear in mind, this is when I first pretty much got into more active footage of airsofting, so my camera wasn't lined up properly, and even with the footage that you're going to see in slow-mo, you can see that. But nevertheless, enjoy it for what it is.
Cheater.
Surprise, motherfucker!
I spawn die! Spawn die. Spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn die!
That guy is fucking cheating! He's cheating!
So that's the end of case number 1. Let's move on to case number 2, Mr. MTP. Right. Now, this case was again at another site. It wasn't the same site. And this was actually, I believe, a case of just, he was a big guy, old guy. He was mature, grey-haired. He was fully decked, not like over the top, but nevertheless he was decked out with like a vest, a helmet and everything. And I caught him out multiple times on the day. Yet again, there's your proof, multiple times. And it wasn't just me, it was other players on the day. Again, if you haven't seen my footage, go check it out. You'll see I speak to other players and marshals, very important. Don't forget the marshals. So, what's going to happen is I am going to show you the footage of 2 incidences, is that how you say it? Nevertheless, enjoy the video.
Oh, what? I see. Dude, seriously? Dude! Bloody hell. Show me the can guy. Right there. Helmet MTP. I just literally put a whole mag in him. I put a whole mag in him. Just literally came running up. I got, oh yeah, definitely right there. That guy. I am dead! The one walking right up there next to the marshal going up there. Empty.
I just see the distance of your...
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Anyone in here? Is no one in here? Oh hell! Marshal! 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 Can you just come here for a second, please? Right, there's two people there, and they're just standing there. I know they're just standing there, but... Yeah. Now he's putting...
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually put his hand up, look.
Yeah.
Now he's walking away.
Okay.
It's the same guy I've had trouble with earlier. I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. Will, the two guys looking back over
what's
to
that?
you by reading
Oh no!
number.
Okay, so you've seen both incidences. The first one was actually at the very beginning of the day. I think it was the second game in, reversed. It was a zombie game, infection game. And I was making a pretty good last stand. And what was interesting about it is I had the marshal to my left, maybe a good meter or 2 meters close to me. And I saw this player run up. So I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot you. You're in the open. And he's running towards me. So I must have wasted at least half the clip. And bear in mind, this was my dinky round for the pistol. So this was like, again, this is why I like my pistol, because it does give some realism of BB count. So 20 BBs. So I must have wasted at least half the mag on his first approach. On his second approach, I gave him the whole clip again. And I've heard BBs bounce off vests. A lot of tactical vests, it makes a very distinct sound that you can hear from a certain distance. And this guy was hit and still shooting at, not me, but then did see me. I did get shot out by someone else that did spot me. But I was just like, really? I just wasted an entire pistol mag on you running up. Now, I do know, obviously, when you get older, responses and everything do slow down. It is a fact, okay? So again, slowing down, stopping, even in Airsoft, yes, responding, it does happen. So we do give the benefit of the doubt. However, the marshal was right next to me when I was speaking to him and pointed him out straight away. And then for the rest of the day, yeah, I was hearing from other players saying, yeah, that guy that you mentioned, he's not calling his hits. And I said, okay, that's good to know, but don't just tell me, go and tell the marshals as well. So the marshals were being informed and kept up to date on his situation. And in the second situation, I didn't have my scope cam at the time. Okay, this was pre-scope camera. So with the RPK, I had a bit of range, and he was standing there next to his friend. So I gave him a number of bursts, rounds to him, and he did put his hand up, but he didn't walk back. So under the rules of Airsoft, I didn't shoot him, but I was wondering, okay, when are you going to walk back? Because as soon as he put his hand down, I shot him again. And it's not me being cruel. The rules clearly state, if you're out, go back to respawn. If his hand goes down, I'm definitely going to shoot you again. So that's when I called over the marshal, just to verify I'm actually hitting the target. Sometimes you may not actually hit the target. And this again happens with beginners and experienced players. Sometimes we think we're hitting the target. Bear in mind, it's a 6mm BB, okay? Whether it's spring, gas or electric, everything has a certain range, unless you upgrade it, but still, it has a certain range. And I got the marshal over to watch, and she saw the response, him being hit, putting his hand up, and I'm like, just keep watching, and eventually he did walk away. And she did the right thing, calling the other marshal, saying, yeah, just keep an eye out on this guy, because, again, he's calling his hits, but he's not walking back. And that's when I got the very rare shot where the BB curved into my goggles, and yeah, that's the only time I've ever had a BB inside my lens. And many people will think, oh my god, that's pretty scary. Yeah, I was quite surprised. I wasn't scared, because the way these things are designed, obviously, because the way it curves in and everything, it just stops, thankfully. If it doesn't, sorry for your experience. But yeah, I just quickly rolled my head and got the BB out through my mask, because it got stuck in my mask as well. But it just goes to show, if you go looking for trouble, trouble finds you. And with this player particularly, I kept running across him and I kept lighting him up, and basically he was cannon fodder. He kept coming back to me and I kept shooting him. He didn't know it was me at the time, but I'm thinking, what's the main objective of this game? Is it defense, attack? And it was very specific. You defend. You don't go looking to shoot people, okay? And it was one of the games where you had a certain amount of lives. I think it was 30 lives, and he must have lost, I'm not joking, about half the lives, so 15 lives plus, Okay, maybe I am exaggerating that a bit, but nevertheless, he lost a lot of lives trying to shoot me at the bottom of the hill. He even tried to frag me a number of times and missed completely. So, yes, you may have an off day, but that does not excuse the fact of your playing ability. Again, play within the rules. So what you're going to see is a slow-mo, again, enjoy it for what it is, of him running towards me. So that's the end of this video, and this is representing 2021. I didn't have anything for 2020. So yeah, thankfully, everything else was a minor issue. I only came across 2 major issues, which are the 2 cases that you saw in this video. And the moral of the story is, don't cheat, okay? Because with me, if I find that you're cheating, not only am I going to report you to the marshals, you're going to become public enemy number 1, and I will hunt you. Obviously within the spirits of the game. So, again, play fairly and learn from this, people, okay? It's about having fun, not looking for cheaters, alright? Not looking to hurt people, but again, if you've got a cheater, they have to be dealt with. And that's it for this video. So, like, comment, share and subscribe. Don't forget to click the little bell icon so you know when the next video is. I enjoyed making this video. I look forward to making the next one. The most important thing you can do is stay safe.